Susan for SLC Aquatics, hashtag FishFamMom, coming live from Knoxville, Tennessee, Aquaticon. I'm going to walk around so that y'all can see how the booths are set up. There's time schedules for landscaping competition. I want to let y'all know that Dustin's fish, is it fish room? Fish tanks. Dustin's fish tanks made it. And he's got a crowd around his table, so I'm going to try to weasel in and ask him if he'll go live with me for a few seconds. And then we've got lots of salt water and fresh water. And don't forget the main booth up front, which is aquatic marines. I'm old and I'm tired, but I'm glad I made it. And I know some of y'all wanted to Crown Tail Half Moon, hi. Aquariums maintained by Andy, hi. Howdy do. Okay, I'm going to walk around. There is flipping the camera. There is Sean Peck at Peck Tech. Here is Leffy, 3213A. We got Robert here. What is your YouTube channel name? TN Aqua. I forget. I'm old. Hi. Select Pet is here. And what is your name, darling? This is Lauren, everybody. All right. Thank you. See, and the kids are setting up over here, getting ready to do their crafts. I don't see chat right now, so I'm going to flip my camera. Oh, it's locked, so I have to come back. But the kids are over here coloring. Oop, 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 slip. This is Reef Nutrition. They actually raise the phytoplanktons and copepods and things that they feed to fish farms. And they've added a dry food product and concentrates. Hey, Holly. We're live on YouTube. This is Sean Peck Tech's wife, Holly, and she has some beautiful art that she's given me permission to film, but you cannot. It's all copywritten. You cannot steal any of this. But she has some excellent work here. And don't forget to check her out on phpcreates.com. Let's do that again.
It's phpcreates.com. It's my website. Feel free to go look.
Do you do any custom work?
I do commissions. Just depends on what you want. But yeah, I'm open to it.
And if you're local here in Tennessee, come on by today and see us.
Absolutely. We'll be here till 6 p.m.
Till 6 p.m. Thank you, dear. And then later on, Sean's going to be doing a landscape, aquascape, not landscape, but aquascape. And this is some of the materials that he'll be using. And he has a schedule, I believe, at 1 p.m. today. So we're going to try to go live when he's doing that. Hello, this is Humana's representative. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing good. Tell us what you're doing here today. And
Here, hanging out.
that is awesome. Here in Tennessee today, till 6 p.m. today, correct? All right. Thank you so much. And here are some, this is MB Betta Aquatics. I believe they came up from Florida. So if anybody wants to see some bettas later on, you'll just have to let me know if you want to see some bettas. that they brought with them. They breed them and they also import them. Oh, here is Seacom's booth, guys. The products, they have samples, they have their protein skimmer, they have a media reactor, all of their magnesium, their chemicals, their minerals, and fundamental things that they've added. And this is mostly saltwater stuff, but they do have freshwater products. Over here is Riptide. Hi, Vibes Aquatics. Yes, we love Seacom. Some of these I don't know what their names. Fish Party Aquatics. Custom build maintenance services. And here's another Luis, Luis, Reef. We did have a couple vendors, guys, that didn't make it, or they haven't made it yet. But they have some beautiful corals over here. Rick's Corals. Hi. Hi, Rick's Corals. Hi, Rick's Corals. We're live on YouTube today, here in Tennessee till 6 p.m. Come by, purchase some beautiful corals. Yes, Crown Tail, I'm going back to the bettas, MB bettas, and then I'm gonna walk all the way up front and show you guys the Aquatic Marines booth, which is absolutely awesome. They have a baby pool here too, and they're catching some of the babies. This is their baby pool. Okay, Crown Tail, here we go. I'm not very versed on bettas, but I think some of these are placottes. Hi, Vinoski. Yeah, these are placottes. Looky here, this looks like a half moon. They have them numbered, they don't have them labeled. Look at this guy right here. It's so pretty. Veil tails, half moons. Look at this one. And back there's a red and white. This one here has the teal and peach. Anything else? I don't know if you can see this display, but there are find this guy.
Those are wild ones too.
I know the glare is probably not giving you the full benefit of the fish. Oh, up here's some whites. Hi, I'm live on YouTube. Some of my followers like, show us the bettas. And they breed most of these, and they do import them too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That blue one's good.
And you know they got the baby pool over here behind you.
Oh, really?
So if you want a younger one and watch it grow up and watch the color changes that they go through.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hi, how you doing? Alrighty. Okay, guys. That was a taste. Looky here. Dustin's fish tanks planted, tanks made easy. Oh, I forgot. I'll be back to talk to him later. This is a cichlid guy, and I believe they have their own food products. Here's Dustin's booth. Hi, Dustin. All right. How you doing? Now this is Aquatic Marine's front booth, and he has a beautiful selection of challah and driftwoods. He's got some live fish over on the other side. Any crown tails? I did not see crown tails. They might have been on the other end. I'll go back by. We have a fish tubers booth in the back, and I will visit that again. I've been sitting down because I hurt myself yesterday standing on my feet so long. We have a reptile. Somebody was asking about tarantula spiders. Hi, April. Fine. I'm live on YouTube.
Sorry, I was right.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Bargain bin. Ready, Reef? Ready, Reef?
Yes, so this is a different kind of live rock that I've made. These are saltwater plants over here that I've grown. All of them are grown from spores from dry rock. So really, really clean. The only thing they've ever been exposed to is parvo pods, which are like little water bugs. And then stone crab right there. So they've never been exposed to like flatworms or somewhere like that.
Okay.
So this is a powder. You take this lid off and you fill it up with water. Mix it to like a sandcastle or oatmeal type consistency. You can use it to make sculptures, you can coat different items in it, or you can use it to adhere rocks together. It cures in 24 hours, and you can put it into a tank to cycle it. All you need is like sand, salt water, filter, a heater.
Yes.
And then it's ready for life in 6 weeks. So it doesn't have an ugly phase because it's so high in iron and inhibits biosis, as well as it doesn't have the crazy cure times like other products.
So it keeps down that algae that starts that beginning tank syndrome, huh?
Oh yes, the diatoms, those that feed off of silicates, which is often found in like other products that use live rock.
Yes.
And your sand sometimes has silicates as well, especially if you don't use like a traditional aragonite prepackaged for salt sand.
Uh-huh.
Those silicates are what that diatoms feed off.
That's right.
So this is completely silicate free. It also, whenever being high in iron, it inhibits biosis, but helps macroalgae.
Okay.
That's how all of these are able to be grown in spores, because a lot of this has nutrients suspended within it, has strontium, potassium chloride in it, a lot of trace elements you find in good high quality salts. But with this, it slowly leaches them out, so you have trace elements building as well.
Awesome. I'm going to ask my audience if they have any questions for you. Do y'all have any questions for her right now? Because she has really gone into depth here about this, and I'm not a saltwater person, so if y'all have any questions, go ahead and ask. We have saltwater and freshwater followers,
Awesome.
and some of them have both in their homes. So
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm a marine biologist. I've been in the hobby for like 15 years. I actually started with salt, then went into axolotl models, then worked at like a commercial hatchery for a really long time. I've been to Malaysia and Philippines and imported fish. I've been all over the industry really. So.
Well, are you local here in Tennessee?
Yes, so I'm from Morristown, but I live here in Knoxville.
Okay.
So I've done that since I was like 14. My dad likes to joke I came out the womb of a marine biologist. My 4th grade science project was seeing if goldfish would get brighter with algae. I've always been
Awesome. A
lot of it too is I set up this week 4 questions. So if they have any questions about cycling or hey, why does that diatoms keep growing? Why does ammonia keep building? I'll have a lot of resources as well here for people on site. Or if you have any questions online, I'd love to answer them, especially about light. I'm very passionate about the kinds of light with saltwater and fresh.
Right.
As far as what happens there. As well as nutrient management. I think I would go as far to say a solid 70% of issues people have in their tanks is nutrient management. Either they don't have the right kind of plants, the right kind of light, the right kind of schedule.
So it's out of balance. It's not feeding itself to feed the inhabitants.
Exactly. So almost all of my systems, exotics, lizards, birds, freshwater, saltwater, is all bioactive. So I use Daphnia, I use copepods, I use isopods, depending on what system I'm in, to eat up a lot of those detritus or extra food.
Yeah, they asked a question about saltwater plants that you grow from spores.
Yes,
So they want to see that. Can I get up close
so
on
I
that?
have lots of information about this. We have Mexican fern caulerpa. Caulerpa is a very fast-growing one to the point that a lot of people call it a weed. This popped up first, and I was like, that is not Bryopsis. That's the craziest looking thing I've ever seen. So I can take this out, too. It's just a little Ziploc bag. But it's almost like a fern. They're beautiful.
Yes, it does.
And this actually fixes nitrates and phosphates in saltwater tanks. So a lot of times, people just
y'all
have
hear
live
that?
rock, live
That's
rock,
music
or they
to
do
our
nutrition.
ears.
Well, the reason a lot of people struggle with it is they know about Kato, but Kato is so dense. I really am not a big fan of using it. I think Ulva is best for a beginner because it is more like paper, so it has a lot more surface area with it than
I've
just
seen
those
that.
strings. So this one popped up second. It's one of my favorite ones, so I was super excited.
And you grow those from spores.
So it was when I was doing the trial.
That one's
I did,
leaking on you.
I'm draping everything over it. So I did dry rock and then the new type of ready reef stuff. And it was wiped out without flow because I was testing all the chemicals in there. And all these algae started popping up. And I was doing research and I was like, did I infect it? Like, did it get cross-contaminated? I don't know where this is coming from. And it turns out if it's ever been exposed to those spores and sunk in the dry rock, they'll come up.
Yeah.
The issue is a lot of people don't manage the nutrients that are good, all those trace elements, all that iron, all the selenium, all the sulfur.
Because we don't know which ones they are, right?
Exactly, and I think it's unfair to ask new hobbyists to learn all of it, especially if they can come up with products like this. You just put it in your tank, takes care of it for the first 6 months, and then you can worry about everything else as you learn things.
Right.
So this has all those components suspended in it. So with the dry rock and this new rock, they just started popping up because the food was there, so they grew. So for example, pom-pom is one of the ones that people chase.
What is that one again?
It's called pom-pom or red graciliera. I think I'm saying that right. And it's rare to find it this dark too. And it's because of the high iron and ready reef that it came up at. Or for example, burning bush. Burning bush I used to order for customers whenever I had my business, and it would sell out in 2 hours.
Okay.
This grew in 6 weeks. That is unheard of for graciliera. It's from deep in the ocean. It doesn't require a lot of light. All of these were grown without any sort of crazy lights, red, purple, blue, that people talk about with macroalgae. So all of these were grown from dry spores that just popped up on the leaves. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I have a little bit of information about each one. You can walk around and see. I did a little bit of research.
This is amazing.
This is a calcium-based one. It's called Mermaid's Fan or Halimeda. And so this one, I hope I'm saying that right, fish don't usually eat. So if you have tangs, but you want the nutrient management there,
Yes.
this is one that people pay good money to get hold of, and it just popped up because that rock was so nutritious.
Okay. And I'm sure you grabbed that and harvested it. And
I did, yeah. I got all of the algae out of it. I still have a little bit at home to grow it out, but I was really excited about it. And
well,
a lot of it-
your name again?
Tia
Tia.
Davis, yeah.
Tia Davis. She's local here in Tennessee. And
I'm on Facebook if you want to add me. I always ask questions on there. I'm on a bunch of different Facebook groups. I always like typing out stuff. A lot of stuff that I do on Facebook though is like people don't realize a lot about importers, so they'll get fish. They're like, hey, what is this on it? And I'm like, that's planaria. Congratulations. That's
Yeah.
what you get because that's actually wildflower. I told you that. I know that they told you it was aquaculture, but at some point the wires have to cross.
Yep.
A lot of it is like disease identification.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
Look for her on Facebook as well. Thank you so much.
White hair.
I'll be here all day, and I may come back by.
Definitely. Any questions you got? I'm here.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Excuse me. How we doing?
Sorry.
That's all right.
I see you earlier. I think I seen you again.
So guys, that was some very interesting information.
Do you guys see the actual office?
Okay, I'll ask her. Tia, sorry, can that be used in place of aragonite?
So aragonite is actually, so a lot of aragonite products out there have silicas as an aggregate. So for example, if you're pulling up aragonite sand off of the ocean, obviously silica is going to be naturally found. So a lot of times you get that ugly diatoms under sand, or you have one rock that's just congregated with diatoms because it's full of silicas.
Yes.
This is a substitute for all the aragonite, calcium carbonate. It actually, oh, I'm so sorry. It actually has 17 different ingredients in it. This is actually ferric oxide base with aragonite, pumice, and calcium carbonate mixed with the caracoccus powder as an astaxanthin source.
Okay.
So if you know what those words mean, you kind of understand that. Yes. You
Yep.
can use it in place of aragonite, especially with freshers.
Thank you.
No problem.
Any more questions, guys? How hard is it to grow those plants?
So it's very hard unless you're dosing trace elements or you have a product like this that's going through.
Yeah, this.
So a lot of times you'll see especially complicated saltwater tanks, the bottom of it looks like an ICU unit.
Yeah.
All the tubes and the drips and that's all of the dosing. So a lot of people when they buy macroalgae, it ends up dying, it ends up paling out, and they get told, oh, it's because you're light, it's because you didn't do this XYZ. But really it's because they didn't have a lot of iron or a lot of strontium, which is a trace element that if you have not a quality salt or you're not doing traditional water changes with a high quality salt every time, you won't have it. So yes, it's true you can get a better light for it, but it's because they substitute the need for those trace elements with light. So all of those here that I have, even the dark red ones on the alfalfa, was not grown with light. It only had like the cracks of my blinds to grow the complete darkness. So a lot of times when people are having trouble with Cato, the very first thing they ask is what kind of light do you have? And I feel like that's kind of unfair to the person trying to grow.
Yes.
They do need light to supplement if you have like a traditional tank, but if you have a product like this that's dosing all those elements for you, it's not bad. So that's where I was kind of going back to, it's unfair to the hobbyists to have to learn how to adapt what they're doing to make it work for them.
So this will help the first 6 months of getting it all started, and while you're being self-educated or
Yes.
whatever.
It's like a Band-Aid. And even still, if you're not doing anything really, really high nutrient intense, if you're not throwing in SPS, if you're not putting in caulk washer and reactors and dosers, this will actually go a little bit further than 6 months.
Okay.
In the trials that he did with tilapia, I've got a poster up there that has all the QR codes for all the trials. I'm not all completed yet because I didn't have time to do
Okay.
but I did have a bunch of research there. In the tilapia trial, he actually had swoop tanks that were uptaking iron, and I gave him that about 6 months ago, and he still said there was a large amount of trace iron in there as well. So
Alright.
really, it just kind of depends on your setup. I just use 6 months as a worst case scenario kind of thing.
Okay.
But it may go even further.
Well,
Really,
thank
the
you.
reality of it is less than a year old, so a lot of long-term trials haven't been done.
Uh-huh.
But whenever I was doing it and formulating it, the thinking was that the 6 months at the very, very worst, this would be no different than traditional calcium carbonate lacquer. All of the nutrients would be leached out.
That's
It would still
awesome.
do the ammonia and the bacteria hosting properties.
Yes.
Just wouldn't have all the trace elements in there to disperse it.
Okay, thank you. Hope you guys appreciate that.
No problem. It's
We'll
nice
see.
to see you guys.
All right. Guys, I'm going to have to go off for a few minutes, and I'll be back.